A very quick introduction from future Claire, but ever since I have considered coming out to Australia, the one thing that I really wanted to do was to go swimming with whale sharks. It has been my dream for such a long time, and I really hope you enjoy this video because I get to do my dream, I get to fulfill my dream, I get to swim with whale sharks. And at one point I didn't think this was going to be possible whilst I was out in Australia, because as you'll have probably seen from my vlogs over the last year, when we originally did our road trip last year, we weren't able to stop over in Exmouth because we had the issue with the van tyre blowing and the air conditioning leaking water or being full of water, so we had to head straight to Perth, so we actually missed that out. And then this year it looked like I was going to be busy the whole of the whale shark season, and so I didn't think that we were going to get enough time to head up to Exmouth. But a freak change of schedule meant that basically we had a week where we could go up to Exmouth. There was tours available to go and see the whale sharks, and honestly it was one of the best days of my life. It was incredible, and I hope you enjoy the vlog. I hope you enjoy seeing what we get up to. And if you are in Australia and you are able to go to Exmouth, then I highly recommend it. I wish we could have spent more time there, but like I said, our schedule just didn't allow us to stay for much longer, but it was one of the best things that I have done over here. But without further ado, let's get on with the vlog. Good morning, it is Friday and we are just about to go and do a bit of exploring in Exmouth. As you know, we arrived last night and just had a pretty chilled evening, to be honest. Ended up just having some dinner that was leftovers from the other night, so it was the Thai basil stir fry, and then literally just watched TV. I downloaded, before I came back to Australia, the £10 Poms series on BBC, and it was quite funny because obviously they're emigrating out to Australia, we're out in Australia, so it's just really interesting sort of seeing their experience versus ours. Obviously it's made up and it's based on it's based on real life, but it's fiction, but yeah, I've been really enjoying it. So we watched that and we actually explored the hostel we're staying in a bit. So they had a bar with a pool table, so we went to play pool, and Myron absolutely smashed me at it. Usually I beat him, even though I'm pretty rubbish. He beat me this time, did some good shots, and we also got ice cream, which was yummy. Had mango ice cream, Myron had vanilla. Yeah, he had vanilla ice cream. So yeah, it was just a really nice chilled evening. But yeah, we're gonna have a little wander around the town. It's not particularly big, just see what's going on, what there is, and then I think we're gonna head to the beach this afternoon. It's actually pretty hot at the moment, so we might wait till it cools down a bit because I don't really fancy getting sunburnt. And then tomorrow is the big day. We get to go swimming with the whale sharks. Going into the national park. Woo! Let's go. We're gonna go to Cape Ranges National Park and probably do some snorkeling instead. And Myron's also found some canyon walks that he wants to do, so we're just on our way there now. I have got the snacks going. We've got some corn chips, as they call them here, basically like Doritos, some salsa and a Sprite, so I'm pretty happy. I'm just chilling. Myron's doing all the hard work and I'm doing the driving, so cheers. We're at Yardie Creek. Looking pretty. In my lovely outfit again so I don't get burnt. Yeah, look at how stunning that is. We're gonna do a little hike basically along the edge, and then we can go up higher if we want to, but that says it takes 2 hours, so we'll see how we get on, see how bad the flies are. But yeah, it's really beautiful. I was not expecting this, I have to say. I just thought Exmouth and Ningaloo was reefs and beaches. I didn't realise it had canyons and things as well. Yardie Creek was about an hour's drive from where we were staying in Exmouth, and I have to say I wasn't expecting it to be as impressive as it was. When we first arrived, we noticed a giant bird's nest, and it turned out that there were 2 osprey chicks there, which was so cute. we headed off on the walk down the canyon, and we were quite surprised to find that the hike that said it would take 2 hours only took us about an hour there and back. So I don't know if it was because it was extremely steep and rocky that they thought it would take longer, but this was with photo stops as well, so yeah, really worth it. There were quite a few little rock wallabies about, and they were really cute. We weren't expecting to see those at all, and the view back to the sea was just so beautiful. As you can see, you can clearly see the sandbar that separates the ocean from Yardie Creek. There were some people there with four-wheel drives who were crossing the area and going on the off-roading tracks further down. However, unfortunately, that wasn't something that we were able to do with the van. However, another time I would definitely like to come back and try and do something like that, as everybody that we spoke to said that it was really impressive down that way and the scenery was just stunning. There were also boat tours that we could have done that went along Yardie Creek. However, unfortunately, we were quite late heading out, and so we'd actually missed the last one for the day. However, I still felt like being up and above the canyon was really spectacular. It is the most insane view. So beautiful. You can see all the way out to the sea, to the reef. Very cool. Yeah. How stunning. Definitely worth the hike up. And the wind seems to be keeping the flies off as well, so that's good. Yeah, it goes on quite a long way. It goes all the way over there as well. This is literally stunning, but we are heading back because the plan is to try and go do some snorkeling. I don't think you're going to be able to hear me, but we're going to try and do some snorkeling, and that's probably like a 20-minute drive away, and it's getting towards 3-4 o'clock now, so we don't want to leave it too late because then it can get a bit dangerous in terms of there being higher potential sharks and things. Well, we've been told that anyway, so yeah, we're going to head back down through the canyon, jump in Henry the van, and then just drive literally just a little bit down the coast and put our wetsuits on, and I'm hoping that we're going to see a lot of amazing fish because we're like further north than where we went snorkeling yesterday at Coral Bay, and that's supposed to be pretty incredible, but I think today's going to be even better. And tomorrow when we do the whale shark tours, I know I've mentioned this like a million times because I'm so excited, yeah, when we do that tomorrow, we're actually coming back over here to do that apparently, so I think this bit is where it's at in terms of fish and things, and I'm really hoping we might get to see a turtle, because I would love to see a turtle or a manta ray, because we saw some little stingrays yesterday, so yeah, we'd love to see a big manta ray, and just honestly just some more fish. And we actually bought some defogging stuff for our goggles because they were fogging up really badly yesterday, so hopefully that'll make a bit of a difference and mean that we can actually see stuff a bit better, because yesterday it was like having fog across my goggles the whole time. No matter how many times I cleaned them, they just kept fogging up again. I even tried, people say to spit in it, I even tried doing that and the goggles are still covered in fog, so hopefully this will work. We'll see. Sorry, not goggles, snorkel and masks, the mask. Yeah, right, I'm going to focus on where I'm walking because this is pretty rocky, and I will catch up with you when we go snorkeling. here, and then the current carries you all the way around here and then drops you out down here. But the reef is sort of out the back where the water's a bit darker. It's really cool. We've literally just seen a stingray and it scared the life out of us because it was huge and it was just floating on the bottom and chilling. But yeah, I didn't have fins on, so it was a little bit scary. But I think Myron got a video of it on the GoPro, but it was very, very cool. But anyway, I've come out now because I'm a bit tired. But yeah, just gonna chill, enjoy the beach. Do you know what, I'm gonna be honest, I was feeling super tired and low energy today. Like I didn't sleep particularly well in the night and was feeling very, very jet lagged, and Myron persuaded me to come out, and I'm so glad that he did because I've actually had the best day. Like exploring the gorge and then coming snorkeling has just been so nice and literally exactly what I needed. So do you know what, it is nice having a partner who pushes you sometimes to do things that you don't want to do. On the way back to Exmouth, we ended up following another van, and I was very jealous because they had a drone and they were filming the van as they were driving through the national park, and I just thought, this is so beautiful, I wish we had that. So I asked Myron to hold the GoPro out the window and we got a few shots of us driving, but we headed up to the lighthouse on the way back because there was so many cars up there, and I completely understand why, because the view was just incredible, the sunset was insane. It really is such a special place up here. I just absolutely loved it. Just got off the bus and we're waiting to go on the boat because we headed out into Ningaloo Reef from Tantabiddy boat ramp, and the plan for the day was to head out, do a bit of snorkeling, get used to our gear, and then when the spotter planes had located the whale sharks, then we'd head out towards those and go for a swim. But before we'd even got in the water, we saw so many humpback whales. They would just seem to be everywhere, all over the place, and they were really quite active. It was incredible, especially having seen them on the east coast last year. It was so nice to see them over here on the west coast as well. We arrived at the first spot that we were going to go snorkeling at and hopped into the water, and I have to say it was a bit chillier than expected and a little bit cloudy, but I think that was just where we were on the reef. But it was really, really beautiful. There was so many fish. We even saw a clam closing, and then yeah, there was just sort of big chunks of reef all over the place, and the fish were everywhere. So many different types, so many ones that I've never even seen before, and it was just really good fun swimming around and seeing them all. We saw a starfish, we saw a really big stingray again, and then after we'd been in the water for a bit, it was time to hop back on the boat and get ready to go and see those whale sharks. So basically they made us sit on the back of the boat. We were in two separate groups and we essentially took it in turns to swim with the whale sharks. They could only have, I think, 10 people swimming with them at a time, so this was us waiting to go in the water to go swimming with those whale sharks. And then we were in, and it was incredible. The spotter planes had located the whale shark, and in our groups we followed the instructor. We had to maintain a certain distance from them at all times, but even so, it was so spectacular and so special to be swimming right next to them. However, do not be fooled, they were going really quite fast. You can't really tell from these videos, but I was kicking at full pelt, and we were in the water for about 5 minutes, so swimming at maximum capacity for 5 minutes, you can kind of see in this clip here, it was pretty tiring. You were really kicking really hard and you didn't want to use your arms too much. You were mainly having those out in front, just sort of gliding along. But yeah, swimming with the whale sharks was just amazing. We swam with, I think, 3 in the end, 3 different ones, because we could only stay with them for a certain amount of time. But it was just so special, and we just kept doing 5-minute rotations. So we'd hop in the water for 5 minutes, then we'd swap with the next group, the boat would move on to follow the shark, and then we'd hop back in again, and yeah, just keep taking it in turns. But it was so incredible, it was amazing. It was one of the best days of my life. Just been swimming with the whale sharks and it was so cool, it was incredible. We did quite a few different swims, just like my goggle marks. But yeah, it was insane. Having a bit of a rest now because it's getting cold, but we've just seen humpback whales as well, so they're
around. There's loads of them. They're doing like barrel rolls, they're flicking their tails. I saw some breaches, so very, very cool.
After swimming with the whale sharks, we hopped back on the boat, had some lunch, chilled for a bit, warmed up, and they had an upstairs deck which was really good fun because it meant you could see for miles and miles and miles. So we watched the whales. There was one that was actually sleeping next to us, and then it woke up just as we went past and came up to the surface, which was really, really special. And then after our food had settled, we headed back in towards the mainland. Inside the reef you can see all the waves crashing on the reef here, because we were going to go do some more snorkeling. So yeah, we headed back in, and the water here was like nothing I have ever seen before. It really reminded me of those pictures you see of places like the Maldives. It literally looked like you could just drink it out of a bottle or something. It was incredible.
Turtle.
Is this where we all jump in?
Oh my gosh.
We arrived at the spot where we were going to go snorkeling again, and I think this is the most incredible snorkeling experience I have ever had.
We were really having to sort of kick hard to keep up with it, but they were incredible. Just such huge fish, and yeah, it was really, really special swimming with them. But we didn't just get to see whale sharks, we got to see the humpback whales, because the humpback whales were jumping out of the water and breaching, and there was one that was asleep right next to us, which was just amazing. We got to see them as well, which if you'd have watched any of my other vlogs, we went to do a humpback whale tour in Queensland last year, and that was such a magical day. So seeing them again today was really, really special, because we absolutely loved it last time we saw them, so that was incredible. We saw turtles and we saw stingrays. We saw a giant stingray, like much bigger than the one we saw yesterday. We saw dugongs, we saw was it a tiger shark or a leopard shark? A leopard shark. We saw a leopard shark, which was very cool. We also saw dolphins. The dolphins came and swam right next to the boat that we were in. Like they were literally surfing in the wash at the front of the boat, so that was incredible. Like just such a special way to end the day. But yeah, it was amazing. We had the best time, and like the tour operator we went with, they were fantastic. Like every time they saw any sort of wildlife, they'd shout it out, and we'd go and have a look, and sometimes they even sort of followed it a little bit so we could go and see it up close. Yeah, they were amazing. It was really, really good, so I definitely recommend going with them. I will put their name in the description for who we used. But yeah, had the best day. It was incredible. I've inserted some videos of what we got up to, I'm sure, before I do this debrief, so hopefully enjoyed seeing it. But yeah, it was amazing. I think I preferred this to the Great Barrier Reef, I have to say. I think it was different because the Great Barrier Reef was quite deep. It was in quite deep waters, whereas a lot of the snorkeling that we did today, besides looking at the whale sharks, was in like the really shallow water, and it was crystal clear. And they did say to us that we got really lucky today with the weather conditions and also with the amount of wildlife that we saw. Apparently it's the best that they've had in a very long time. But yeah, I'm so pleased because this is like one of the main reasons why I wanted to come to Australia, to do this, to swim with the whale sharks, to go snorkeling here, and it lived up to it and more, and it's just been an incredible day. I'm just so pleased. I mean, you can tell I can't stop grinning. But yeah, it's been the best time and so worth the long drive up here. So yeah, we've just got the long drive back now, which we're starting now, so we're hoping to do 3 or 4 hours this evening before it gets dark, and then the final 8 or so hours back to Perth tomorrow. So yeah, it is a long drive, but definitely worth it. And if you are in Australia, you have to come and visit this place. And if you're in Western Australia, get a car and drive up here. Give yourself a week to do it, maybe even a bit longer, to be honest, maybe even 2 weeks, so that you can actually explore, because there are so many beautiful places here, particularly up in Exmouth. Like Coral Bay was gorgeous, but Exmouth is just that next level up. It was insane. Anyway, I'm going to end the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Hope you've loved seeing all the wildlife as much as I have, and I'll catch you in my next video.